Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nesty. Today we're going to be taking an in-depth look at all the armor classes in Escape from Tarkov. I will be going over each tier individually and picking out the best armor from the tier and also telling you which armors to avoid, alongside with some budget options as well. So if all that sounds good, then make sure you keep watching. Also guys, as a side note, I do stream over on Twitch. It is twitch.tv/NestyGG. If you want to watch me play Escape from Tarkov or other games as well, you're more than welcome to do so. So I hope to see you guys over there, and let's crack on with the video. So we are on patch 12.8. Battlestate did just release this patch recently. With it, they brought in a couple of updates, a couple of bug fixes. One of the updates is they added a new tier 5 armor. It's more like a budget tier 5 armor, so if that's something you're interested in seeing, you can use the timestamp down below to skip ahead to the class 5 armor review, where I go over the Korund VM armor. Currently, in Escape from Tarkov, there are 32 armors and armor rigs combined. So there are 22 body armors and there are 10 armored rigs. And yes, it did take a long time to crop every single one of these out of Photoshop. So starting at the bottom and working our way up to the top, we have class 2 armors. Thankfully, there isn't a whole lot of diversity to choose from. There's only 3 armors in total: the P.A.K.A., the Module 3M, and the 6B2. These 3 armors offer you the least amount of protection in Escape from Tarkov and should be avoided if you have better options available to you, such as tier 3 or above. With that being said, they may stop around the buckshot or 2, so they're not entirely useless. However, most caliber rounds will go through tier 2 armor, so just bear that in mind. And also, I would definitely just go for whichever one is cheapest for this category, and if you can afford it, I would skip class 2 entirely and only go class 3 or above. Class 3 armor will offer you protection against most scav rounds in the game. However, it is not recommended for PvP, as most players will be running high penetration rounds. Even some of the cheaper rounds, such as BT 5.45, will go through tier 3 easily. So tier 3 is only really effective against low tier rifle rounds, low tier pistol rounds, and maybe some buckshot or 2. So if you're looking to just do some PvE, maybe shoot some scavs and get out, this armor will be great for that. However, if you're looking for PvP, I would definitely go class 4 or above. So the best armor in this category is the press armor. It is made out of ultra high weight polyethylene, which breaks down the slowest in comparison to the other armors per bullet that it absorbs. Polyethylene also repairs very well, so you'll get a good few raids out of the armor before you need to dump it. And on top of that, the press armor is also one of the cheapest armors in the class 3 category. You can find this armor very commonly on scavs, or you can find it very cheap on the flea market. It usually sits around about the 25k mark. Another good option in the class 3 category will be the 6B5 armored rig. You can pick this rig up from Ragman level 2 for around 44,000 rubles. For the extra money spent, you do get extra durability, and also because it is a tactical rig, it has its own space built into the armor. This means you do not need to buy a tactical rig when you go to the raid. It's also worth mentioning that with this rig and any other armored rig, you can use the Red Rebel extracts on Reserve and Woods, which just further makes this armor a very good PvE pick. And that is it for class 3, so all other armors in this category either do not repair well enough, they break down too fast, or they cost too much for the protection gained. So moving on to class 4, this is where you begin to see some real diversity. Class 4 is the most popular class currently in the meta, as it offers a great sweet spot between price and protection. This armor should protect you against mid-tier rifle rounds, most pistol rounds, and shotgun shells. It should be noted that class 4 is pretty much the baseline for PvP, and most players who are looking for PvP will be running ammunition that will go through at least class 4. So there are currently 10 options to choose from in class 4. However, a few of these are definitely not worth the money, as they are low durability and are made out of materials that do not repair very well. As there are so many options to choose from in class 4, I'm going to break this down into the best armored rig and the best body armor. So the best body armor in class 4 is the Trooper. It is made of ultra high weight polyethylene, which is not only the most durable, but also the most repairable material in the game. The Trooper also only weighs 5 kilograms, so it's super light and has very low movement penalties. The only real downside to a Trooper armor is that it does not cover your stomach, and the price might be a little bit higher than other tier 4s. That is partly due to the fact that the Trooper armor is also used for the slick barter trade from Ragman. The best rig in this category would be the Anna M1 tactical rig. This rig offers 65 points of armored steel durability, which does repair very well, but it is a little bit more expensive to repair than ultra high weight polyethylene. This rig will protect your chest and your stomach and also offers 20 slots of storage space. It also has dual 2x2 slots that you can use for looting helmets or any other 4-slot items. There is currently a trade for Ragman level 3 for 4 Aquamaries, so if you have Aquamaries laying around, you can use any Aquamarie. Even if it has only 1 point of durability left, you can still trade these up to the traders or one of these armors. A close second to the Ana Tactical M1 rig would be the TB10 in my opinion. This armor offers you 85 points of durability and it is made of armor steel as well. The only downside to this armor is that it does not protect the stomach, but the armor does give you more space than the Ana M1, so if space is paramount then the TB10 might be a better choice for you. You can pick up the TB10 from Ragman level 4 for around 98,000 rubles, or you can also find these in raid. They do spawn on raiders, so that might be a easier way to get them, and they also go for relatively cheap on the flea market. You might be lucky and pick one up for under market value. So the best budget option in tier 4 may go to the 6B3TM. The reason I say may is because once you get Ragman level 3, I believe the Ana M1 tactical rig is a far better deal. For 45k you can get the 6B3TM from Ragman level 2, and once you get Ragman level 3 you can use the 4 Aquamarie trade up, which comes to around 60k. In my opinion, the 15,000 ruble difference is well worth it for the Ana M1 tactical rig. That being said though, the 6B3TM does offer 40 points of titanium protection. Titanium isn't the most repairable, but it's also not the worst. So you will get maybe 2 to 3 runs with this armor if you are lucky, then you might have to bin it because the durability will be too low. This is definitely my favorite early wipe rig that I like to use whenever I'm going around questing, especially if you're lucky enough to get a Red Rebel early wipe. Then you can use the Red Rebel extracts on Woods and Reserve, making this low cost armor even better. Okay, so moving on to class 5 armor. Any class 5 armor is going to offer you very good protection. However, the cheaper tier 5 armors are made out of worse materials, meaning that they break down quicker per shot and are less repairable. For example, the Gazelle, which you can get from Ragman level 3 for 2 gold chains and 3 coffees, might seem like a great deal, and it is once you use the armor for 1 or 2 raids. After that, the armor will be so broken down that it will not offer you decent protection for your next raid. This is because the armor is made out of ceramic. Ceramic breaks down quicker per shot and has terrible repairability. As ultra high weight polyethylene is the most durable material in the game, this would put the killer armor or the 6B13M at the top of the class 5 category. There are 2 other armors that use ultra high weight polyethylene in class 5, that is the AACP and the Tactec. The reason these are not in the number 1 spot is because they only offer thorax protection, they do not protect your stomach, but these are both fantastic options if you are looking to run a good tier 5 setup. Another honorable mention and one of my personal favorite PvP body armors is the Fort Defender 2. This armor was added to the game fairly recently and offers 70 points of armored steel durability, which is quite repairable but also quite expensive to repair. So the best budget options in tier 5 would be the Gazelle or the newly added Korund VM. The Korund VM does have some big movement penalties and offers very low durability in total. However, it is made out of armored steel, which does repair better than ceramic, which is what the Gazelle is made out of. Both of these armors show strong points and weak points. However, if I had to pick one, I would pick the Korund VM simply because it is made out of armored steel and you may get 1 or 2 extra raids by repairing the armor. You can pick up the Korund from Proper level 3 for 99,000 rubles, and the Gazelle you can get from Ragman level 3 using the trade, which would make it cheaper, or you can pick it up on the flea market for around 110 to 125,000 rubles. There are 4 other class 5 armors in this category, however they are either too heavy, they do not repair well enough, they break down too quickly to be considered top tier, and they are too expensive to be considered budget. With that being said though, all class 5 armors are really good, and if you have these in your stash you can still run them and get very good protection. However, I would not recommend buying these ones from the flea market. Alright, and finally we have arrived at class 6 armor. Unsurprisingly, class 6 offers the most protection you can get in Escape from Tarkov. Only the best top tier ammunition will reliably go through class 6. Luckily, there are only 3 options to pick from, and the best option in this category is 100% the Slick. Like the other top tier contenders on this video, the Slick is also made out of ultra high weight polyethylene, which breaks down the slowest and repairs the easiest. The Slick has a staggering 80 points of durability available to it when it's brand new. Couple this with the low weight and low movement speed penalties, and this is easily the best armor in the game. There are only two real downsides to using a slick every single raid. The main downside is that the slick does not cover your stomach, and the other downside is simply the price. At this moment in time, the slick is currently going from anywhere between 600 to 650,000 rubles on the flea market. There was a trade for this from Ragman level 4 for 3 trooper armors and 6 Cordura. However, this actually equals roughly the same amount as the cost from the flea market, so only use this trade if you have non-found in raid Cordura and you don't mind trading them up. Ignoring the cost, there really is no other armor in the game that is better than the slick. No other armor can take as many rounds as the slick and keep you alive without your insides turning to soup. So if you can afford it, I would definitely recommend you run it. The only other tier 6 armor that I can half recommend would be the Zuk 6A. I would not recommend buying this armor from the flea market, but if you happen to come across one and it's not found in raid so you can't sell it, you could definitely use this armor. However, it is 500k to buy from the flea market brand new, and for that 500k you get a heavier armor with more movement speed penalties, and also it is made of ceramic, which does not repair very well at all. The last class 6 armor in this category is the 6B43 armor. This armor is very strong, but it does break down quite quickly. It is very heavy and has seriously high movement speed penalties, so you won't be able to sprint around very quickly when you wear this armor. For this reason, I cannot recommend using this armor as it will slow you down way too much. The movement speed penalties are too severe, and the protection that you get is definitely not worth the movement speed debuff. Alrighty then, that pretty much covers everything, guys. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. I know some of you might use the timestamps to jump in between the middle, the end, whichever part of the video that you like. Hopefully you did enjoy the video and you were able to get some knowledge over what armor steps you should use and which armors you should avoid. If you liked the video, guys, please remember to leave a like, and if you want to subscribe for more content, that would help me out greatly as well. I do stream over on Twitch, over on twitch.tv/NSDGG, so if you want to come over and hang out with me there, you're more than welcome to do so. The links will be down in the description below. Take care, guys, and have a great day.